Sup, homies? My name is Mike S. And wouldn't you know it, I've got Gen Z style baggy pants. Baggy pants notwithstanding, today I'm going to tell you about something that is prototypically Gen Z, like these new baggy jeans. I'm going to tell you about somebody, a Gen Z, who created a product called Rent a Human for agents to rent humans. I'm also going to talk about Block.xyz and the 4,000 layoffs implications, so you don't want to miss a minute. I'm going to try to do this all in under 5 minutes, so let's get started. All right, so if you visit rentahuman.ai, you'll see that there's 600,715 humans that have been rented so far. And I want to talk about what that means, some of the, let's say, genius behind this product, but also break down specifically what they're actually talking about. So if you go to the site now, they do have in the FAQ section, the facts section, the question, is this real? And yes, of course, Rent a Human AI is a live marketplace with, at the time of writing the FAQ, 500,000 registered humans across 100 countries. First things first, this is not super surprising. We've had products like this for quite some time. You might be familiar today with TaskRabbit, right? TaskRabbit allows folks to be booked. In fact, Upwork would be another example. Task a little bit better because it is specifically task delegated. But we have had products like this. Mechanical Turk also comes to mind, which is an AWS service for labor at scale. But fundamentally, what sets this product apart was I would argue, the marketing, but also the fact that it integrates via MCP with products such as KimiClaw, ClaudeBot, and other types of agents. So that's kind of the main bread. The main bread is an agent can delegate a task to a human, and all of that is negotiated via MCP and other API protocols. I'll unpack it a little bit more. So how it works, an AI agent connects via MCP server or REST API. An agent searches available humans by skill location. Agent books human for the task. Payment is handled through Stripe, which is a payment processing API that you can integrate into any application you create. Human completes the physical world task. Now, I haven't actually done this, but I would like to see how it does the verification, though maybe that's part of the negotiation in the API or protocol. You can see some of the Twitter, some folks who have participated in tasks from Rent a Human. So this dude was paid, or this woman was paid to hold a sign. And then if you look at the bounty section of the website, you can see the type of services that they're looking for: document collection services, package pickup, social media content. And so a lot of these do kind of make sense. And again, they do fall in line with TaskRabbit, and broadly, ClaudeBot, and in this case, KimiClaw. These products have been so overwhelmingly successful at the end of 2025 and 2026. This, to me, seems like the natural extension of that. The other thing Rent a Human has going for it that perhaps other products didn't is it's just so meme-worthy. As these images from Twitter show, I mean, this is, if you want to market your site to get 500,000 humans, you have to add a little bit of flavor, a little bit of meme-worthiness. And sure enough, Rent a Human has done that. But wait, there's more. Block.xyz, formerly Square, announced 4,000 layoffs, approximately 40% of their workforce this past week, which leads me to believe Rent a Human has an interesting position whereby they can hire folks who were replaced by AI by an AI. Yeah, big story. This has been all over the news. It keeps unfolding, but originally on February 27th, Dorsey comes out, CEO of Block, and describes that the large layoffs were in fact due to AI. It was confirmed further by their CFO just a few days later, who described AI as the cause of the mass layoffs. And this differs fundamentally from, for example, a video I did 5 months ago about Accenture, who laid off 11,000 employees. AI was kind of in the ether for that mass layoffs. Same thing with McKinsey. They laid off 30% of their workforce at the end of 2025. Again, AI in the ether. There wasn't as direct a reference as is coming out of Block. And it makes perfect sense, because you got to imagine, in the landscape of companies that could potentially have their workforce replaced by AI, you got to imagine Block, a software payment processing system, has very, let's say, underwhelming protections against a lot of those roles being replaced by agents. Just as a quick comparison, your local construction company probably has a very, let's say, little vulnerability to potential AI layoffs, with mainly like customer support or something of that nature. But a company like Block, which is a payment processing software, has huge vulnerability. And of course, when Dorsey says that more can be expected, you got to think more companies will follow suit. You got to start thinking, what are the positions that are most vulnerable? what are they being replaced with? So if 4,000 employees have been replaced, that's productivity has to come to somewhere. How are they measuring that? So in the landscape of jobs being replaced, there could be some jobs opening up. What those are, what jobs are at risk. These are all things we need to keep an eye on. So there you have it. On the same day or the same week, humans are being replaced by agents at block.xyz. You have humans gaining roles from agents at Rent a Human. If you're interested in software engineering, business, funding, please check out my Twitch channel. Give me a sub. I create stuff, create software. A lot of the products I create are AI tangential, but I'm also interested in any areas of innovation. So give me a sub, give me a like, check out my Twitch channel, and I hope to see you homies soon. Peace.